relationship was great like that. We always teach each other things.
What can I do? 20 grand I can borrow? Like what? If I get my payments back? Well, how else can I help?
Someone said in the beginning of Bandit, is that me coughing? Yes. That's how much of a joke the song was supposed to be. Like, he was just talking about being like fucking us. Like, I really am a crazy ass bitch. Ask any fucking person here. They know. I will go the fuck off. Especially for Jared. I will go the fuck off. I either have it in the Gemini one, and I have a couple of his stuff in the Sagittarius one, or it's in my bathroom when I do my face, which I just did some of my face products. I don't keep the ring on when I do that, or when I sleep. I get bruised. I don't know if you haven't seen my ring, but Jared's funny. When I first got that ring, it literally had to, like, it bruised my fingers. My, like, hand literally, see how it goes in right here and there where my knuckle is? Because of the ring. Do you see it? My, like, hands, like, mushed to fit the ring because the ring was so big. I could not believe it. And in yellow diamonds are my thing. My, like, thing. He went all out. It was so, like, all out in my perfect way, which is, like, private as fuck. I don't want everyone to be there. I don't need any of that. Like, no one needs to know anything. Like, you guys, like, I don't give a fuck. Sorry, I like my private life to be private, especially when I have to share so much of my real life with you guys too. People always ask how he proposed. That's one thing that I'm gonna keep to myself for a little bit, and I'll share when I'm ready. I'll probably share on my YouTube. Someone said, would you let Jared get a face tattoo? So, Jared did get a face tattoo. I got a J for him. So he got a face tattoo. Finally. But no, he would never be allowed to get a face tattoo. I never let him get a face tattoo. Like, just how I went the fuck off on that, I went the fuck off on everything. Literally. Like, but he knew that I was doing it out of care, so. But his face was so beautiful. Like, you don't need a tattoo. And I know that people are like, well, Allie, like, you're beautiful. You have a tattoo. But, like, Jared's face in real life, like, real life was, like, sculpted by the gods. So beautiful. So beautiful. Can I tell you what the first day hanging out with Jared was like? So I remember I showed up to Rhode Island, and I'm in the lobby. I had just got off my flight. I booked my flight out there because we were friends before, for a year. Good friends for a year. He would hit me up, tell me things, if he had issues, whatever, I'd give him advice. I was older, so I knew, different things. I also just do the industry, too, so I was just yeah, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. So we were just cool. I saw a lot of potential in him and didn't want him to, ever feel, down. You know what I mean? So I was, one of those friends that, was a pick-me-up for him. And, I remember him being oh, I'm in Rhode Island, come out if you want, blah, blah. I know that you're from Jersey, but I know that you're in, blah, blah. I used to live in Tennessee. I was well, my girl's out there. I can always just, go see you and then go ahead and drive to, where I used to live, hour away. And boom, I'm good to go, hang out with my, friends, home people, whatever. So I bought my flight. I went out there, literally, bought my own flight. I don't give a fuck. You're not buying my flights. No, what, we're going out there. We're friends. So I bought my own flight, went out there. We were just having a good time. All of us, all his friends, that's when I met Sean and Chris. And we were all really good friends then. Having a great night. Jared performed so well. They were so stoked, wow, Allie, you him being here right now just brought so much good energy, this and that. And then we go later on back to the hotel, and we're all drinking, chilling, and smoking, and we're all right, we're gonna go back up to the hotel room. So me and Jared go back up to the hotel room. He finishes the bottle of Hennessy or whatever he was drinking on the way up. There was this much left. He just starts if you know Jared, if you've ever seen Jared at concerts, when he drinks at concerts, which I would not let happen. But people would sometimes do it. They'd be oh, get Jared to drink, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be no. Because then I have to deal with drunk Jared later, which is great. But then sometimes I gotta just get him in the shower and go to sleep. Because I said, he will chug the entire bottle. So he chugs the entire bottle going upstairs. And I'm hey, I had just got off the flight. I gotta get in the shower. We had, literally, even in the room, had 2 beds, you know what I mean, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he was all right, just, wake me up if I fall asleep when not, you get out, blah, 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 wake me up, we'll watch TV, we'll watch a movie, whatever. I'm okay, cool. I got into the shower, got out, and he was diagonal across the bed, just passed out across the bed. And I was poor Angel, probably hasn't slept in days, oh my God, he just wants to sleep, I'm not waking him up. He looks so peaceful. I was you need to get something in your system. You drank a whole bottle last night. Trying to get him good. Got him good. We got on the flight and went to the Rolling Loud in Oakland. And that was the first time me and Jay ever popped out together. And by that time, it was like, I want to say, like, we were together hanging out for like 4 days now. And obviously that's when things had changed from us being friends to more than that. And then he had left to go to tour overseas, and I had my passport coming, but not, like, I met Jared. Before I met Jared, I already signed up and got my passport coming for other things. And he was like, no, it needs to be rushed. And he literally called Canada and, like, had me call, like, on two-way and, like, have them ship it and, like, all this crazy shit so I can get out to him. And it was so wild. And I remember just being like, wow, I've never left the country. I have to leave the country right now. And, like, I've never done this. I'm doing it by myself. And I'm going to do everything by myself. But going out of the country by yourself, I just didn't know the direction. So I remember, like, going through everything. And then, like, all of a sudden, I'm, like, walking through. And then I just see, like, this kid jumping, running towards me, and it's obviously Jay. And I was like, oh my God. It was worth it. And he never let me leave after that. We always tell a joke. The joke is in this, like, the group, like, Jared kidnapped me. Because I never went back to my house. I never got any of my clothes. Nothing. I never got my car back. Nothing. Jared got someone to pick up my dogs and bring them to LA. And he bought me all new stuff and was like, no, you're just staying here. You can't go. And I was like, okay. And I was here every day, every second, ever since. But I'd be in the room. And so I'd be here when, like all the time. But Jared would spend a lot of time in the studio. And since we're together all the time, I'd like to give him his space in the studio to do what he wanted and create what he wanted. Sometimes I'd be in there. He'd ask me to come in there, or I'd just go in there. And, you know, he'd make songs about me, and I'd sit there and, like, lay on his lap, and he'd just sing. And just, I miss those times. Those were those times, because he recorded so much, like, daily. He recorded daily. He made sure he did things, like, it was like, just like you brush your teeth daily, like, Jared recorded daily. I would, like, beg him for days, like, can you not record tonight, or blah, 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 just so that he could rest, because, like, he would spend a lot of time in the studio, and because the studio is right here in the house, which is fine, you know what I mean, but, like, as someone who goes on tour and as someone who does things, you do need to get your rest. Like, that's a big thing, you know. So I would, like, drag him and yell at, sometimes, like, get the fuck in bed. Like, 4 a.m. in bed was the time. If you're not in bed at 4 a.m. and I wake up, everyone knew there's a problem. Jared needs to be in bed. He wake up however early in the morning he wants to, record all day if he wanted to, all night till 4 a.m. 4 a.m., your ass is in bed and you're sleeping. And I'd make sure he ate before he went to bed. We'd order a bunch of random shit, like chicken or, like, blueberry things. I don't even know. But yeah. So, yep. That's my story and stories about how Jay and I spent our first night together. He was so, like, I have this video I've been waiting to share with you guys. It's the first video I ever took of him. And he's singing a Future song, I think. I think it is right now. I'm high, so I can't remember. And the smile he has on his face, just, And I remember right before he went on stage, I had just came in earlier, like, a couple hours earlier, maybe like 2 hours earlier. We smoked a couple blunts, and then we went to the green room for him to perform. And I remember right before he went out, like, I'm Spanish. I know you guys always ask what my nationality is. My mom is Puerto Rican and German, and my dad is black. And so, like, but I grew up with my Spanish side. And they, you know, we always hug and kiss. It's just how we are. Like, kiss on the forehead, kiss on the cheek. It's just a Spanish gesture. You know what I mean? Like, anyone who's Puerto Rican or any kind of Spanish, you know. Literally, like, right before he went out, I was like, you know, this shit's gonna be so hard, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm so excited. Like, it was packed. Such a good show. And I gave him a kiss on the forehead. Like, just a little kiss on his forehead. Set him on his way. And I say that because, like, later on, when we had talked about, like, this is deeper into our relationship, about, like, I was like, what was it that, like, you know, talking about, like, what was it that made you like me, or this or that, or what did you realize, or blah, 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 because Jared was really into that. We were really into just getting into detail, talking about just ourselves, each other, and just everything. We, like, got into detail. He wouldn't, like, let me not have the conversation. He, like, definitely took me out of my comfort zone and things like that. And he mentioned that me giving him a kiss on the cheek, on the forehead, that was, like, a huge thing. So we always gave each other kisses on the forehead. That was, like, our thing. Every time he went out on stage, obviously I'd kiss him and give him a bunch of kisses, but he'd come during the Demons, the song that would come on, and he'd take a break. If anyone had seen him perform, he'd come back, I'd wipe the sweat all off of him, and then get a little kiss on my forehead, and he goes about his way. But yeah, this live literally is a fucking example of changing something negative to positive. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Someone just asked, when was the first time you guys said I love you to each other? When was the first time you knew you loved him, and when was the first time you said I loved you to each other? That is a great story, and I'm going to save that for another time. That story is probably one of my favorite stories about Jared, of the time that we told each other that we loved each other. It is hilarious and absolutely just... It's literally one of my favorite moments in my life. And it's just the funniest shit ever. So I'll tell you that on a different day. I'm going to go to sleep with that in my head. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Again, my opinions are my opinions. I just know a lot about Jared. I am not Jared. So what I said does not, you know, please put that into the sense when it comes down to me speaking, whatever I speak, and know that when I'm speaking not for drama. Believe me, I could have made plenty of drama. I'm not trying to make drama. I'm just stating my opinion on what I'm doing and who I am and what I stand for. Still doing life, so I got time, bitch. Just how you guys got time, so do I. So, with that said, if I'm saying something here or there that might catch you off guard, bitch, the bitch has time. It's fine. Let it be. And I love sharing my stories with you guys like always. I'm going to bed thinking of great memories. Thank you guys so much for supporting him. It really makes the biggest difference in my life. Not, like I said, I have nothing to do with the music. I get nothing from the music. Thank God Carmela is such a beautiful, grateful woman who decided to understand the love between her son and I, and has always been there for me, and is being there for me now. But I didn't want anything from Jared but Jared. I didn't want juicewrld. You guys can have juicewrld. Jared's mine. But I don't want his money. I'm more than capable of making my own money. I did it my whole life by myself. I will do it my whole life by myself. unless I'm getting married or being with someone, which was the case, and that didn't want me doing anything, and that's the only reason why I didn't do anything. Jared wanted me to be there with him and to help him. And I was doing something, I had a very important role when it came down to things. And the fact that, you know, people understand that and notice that and are taking care of me until I can be back on my feet. I'm grown. I don't need anyone. I would love to have Jared back, but I know that Jared put me and kept me here for a reason and taught me what I know for a reason. So I got to get myself together and put out his word with myself and being me. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I love you guys. Good night, or good morning, or afternoon, or lunchtime, or dinner, or whatever, wherever you guys are. But drink some tea. I don't know where you are, but if quarantine is up in your area, because I think it's up in mine, it's like tomorrow.
Do you think that crystals are...
Sorry, I just burped. I'm nervous. Please wear your mask. Please just stay in unless you